It's kind of crazy that Nvidia reports a what anyone would consider an amazing quarter. But because they were below price target and because they're just so overpowered, um, the market took that as a wrong maneuver. You know, shook people out, maybe a sign of things to come, and is completely just out of it. Doesn't want to deal with it. Dropped it like it's hot. It's insane. I mean, I think the biggest threat to the Nvidia bulls right now, holy shit. Um, the biggest issue with Nvidia bulls right now is the balkanization of semiconductors. Because Nvidia is not only one of the greatest suppliers of semiconductors, it's also one of the greater competitors. Most of their customers are their competitors, and that's a hurdle that they can't really overcome. But it makes you wonder. It's like, okay, if you have a tech company like like a Microsoft or like a Google, for example, with their Gemini project, or like an Amazon with Annapurna Labs, how much money do you think they're saving by investing in their own R&D for chips? Because that shit is not cheap. Like you basically have to do the R&D, or you basically have to do the cost benefit analysis as a company to say, hey, it's actually worth it for us to, have fabrication labs contract out with um, companies like TSMC and cut NVIDIA out of the middleman job for our machine learning programs, for our data centers, for basically everything. I'm getting fucked in this game. I'm not good at chess. I'm just trying to exercise the mind. I don't want to rematch. Okay. Let me see if I know that thing. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like I think one of the biggest warning signs was, is he cooked? Does he know how to counter? He does. But it's not that good of a counter. When EVGA started to refuse NVIDIA as a client, it fork into queen take. Never mind. Never mind. That was a kind of desperate move by that guy. He did not need to trade queens that early. Okay. Yeah, when EVGA, which coincidentally enough, the only graphics cards I've ever bought have been EVGA cards. Not out of preference. I think they're pretty good, as far as I know. But just by sheer coincidence, that's just how it's been for me. And EVGA is like, okay, yeah, we've been doing this shit for years, and we're just so tired of NVIDIA as a vendor, not vendor, sorry, vendor, that we're just gonna get out of the GPU game entirely. Like, that's nuts. Like, imagine being so tired of dealing with someone as a what is it called? Like a lab partner in like biology class or some shit, that you're just like, I'm not playing with you anymore. I'm taking my Barbies and I'm going home. I'm taking my GI Joes and I'm going home. That's fucking nuts, dude. I mean, seriously, like I think Nvidia just really doesn't give a shit. Like they'll treat any vendor or any supplier or any end of the company. What was that? Okay. Any end of the company, however way they want, because they think that they pretty much own the place. I mean, look at the CEO. What's his name? Huang? Huang? What's the guy's name? Yeah, Jensen Huang. I mean, he's like autographing like a fan's like, breasts and shit. And it's like bro, you should be at the shareholder meeting. What are you doing acting like a rock star with a leather suit? Like it sounds like I'm grade A hating, but it's, a company's CEO is kind of indicative of the culture. I mean, look at Tesla, for example, right? Elon Musk is a dick. You can just tell he's a dick. You can just tell that nobody likes him there. No, that was a terrible move. Then nobody likes him there. Everyone just kind of steers clear of that uh, egomaniac. He wants to be the center of attention all the time. He has this like strange infatuation with the letter X for some reason. I mean, it's a whole thing. And yeah, no, like I doubt anyone wants to really work for Tesla. I doubt that Tesla is the most employer friendly. Um, I think I'm rushing this game a little too much. The most employee friendly environment. It's probably the Amazon of the automotive industry. I, honestly. So I don't know. I think Nvidia's swinging it a little too hard, especially in terms of pricing, especially in terms of like manufacturer recalls and shit like that that they just will offload onto uh, the client themselves. They really don't like playing ball. They really don't like losing money. I don't blame them. I mean, what company does? Um, but they're probably going to lose a sizable amount of the market share due to their old customers, such as Amazon or Nvidia, or not Nvidia. I'm sorry, such as Microsoft saying, "Hey, we don't need your chips. We have Gemini. Um, we have in-house chips that we're making now that are training our Gemini protocols, or whatever." Is he gonna take that? Dude, take. Okay, very interesting move. What the fuck was that? Oh, well. This guy's so smart. They're so smart. I gotta break that pawn structure. I mean, I doubt we're gonna see like every tech company make their own chips. Probably the bigger players, like I mean, Apple's already moving into their M2 size for consumer hardware, for larger hardware such as their prosumer MacBooks, shit like that. So that I don't know what was the litmus test. I mean, we're seeing Intel kind of try to get their balls off the ground, but they're not doing a good job. I think Shkreli did a analysis on their 10K after they really shit the bed and stuff, and it's like you're not really convincing the investor that you're doing well as a company or that you have a good plan if you're like, yeah, okay, great, $26 billion in capital expenditures to try and like make a move in the company. That's cool and all. My question is this: where the fuck was it before? Like why are you just now kind of trying to wake up a bit? It still doesn't make any sense. It's like if you were serious, if you locked in before all this horseshit, we wouldn't be in this mess right now, bro. You know? So, fuck, my queen is actually fucked up. Not really, but it's kind of a difficult position. I mean, if you're the Intel CEO and you're posting prayers on Twitter, it's not a good look, buddy. You know what I mean? It really it really isn't a good look. And I don't know. I think Intel's fucked up. I mean, is it enough to like short? I doubt it. People see, that's the thing. It's like resigning. I'm not good at this game, and I'm not focused. That's the thing. People were like, "Oh, dude, Intel's gonna get a bailout like the automotive industry did, um, back in 2008." I mean, just because it's an American company, really? Yeah, it's not even like a critical piece of American infrastructure, in my opinion. Because, oh, well, I guess he does want to play. Um, like you can't go without the airlines, right? I mean, look at the CrowdStrike issue. Airlines are out for like, I mean, Delta specifically was out for a good bit of time. Everyone was like, "Holy shit, I can't get to my flight. I can't get to Acapulco in time for SmashCon or whatever." Like you can't go without the airlines. You can, however, go without the. Oh, that's a really good setup. You can, however, go without Intel, and the reason being, I mean, a majority of Intel's business is consumer hardware, and like if they went away tomorrow, there's still enough on the supply. Why did he do that? There's still enough on the supply side to maintain a healthy fleet for a lot of the world's data centers until they can transfer over into a, I don't know, fuck, whatever company takes over, AMD based maybe, or whatever. It shifts over, just says fuck it, we're no longer using Intel chips, we're no longer dealing with those lazy fucks. Okay, bad, done deal. But when it comes to Intel being important enough for a government bailout, dude, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Intel has made Wall Street happy enough for them to pull enough rank on Capitol Hill to bail out their boys in what is it called? Hold on. To bail out their boys on fucking Intel's board of directors. It's just not happening. And I don't think new management is something that can help them either. Like I mean, what is new management going to do that $26 billion in market expenditures is going to do? Or not capital expenditures, I think I said capex earlier. I meant market X. Whatever. They're basically investing in infrastructure. And any other company, I'd see that as a good thing. But doing that within like 2 quarters when you're behind everyone is not a good sign. It's like, all right, dude. Y'all were acting like a dividend company, sending checks, when y'all should have been making checks. Now you're gonna get checked by the Taiwanese, bro. That's crazy. Um, hmm. Maybe within the potential upcoming, I say balkanization. I just mean like no longer relying on fucking goddamn Nvidia for every single chip in the world. That whole sort of push for homegrown chips for at least MLMs, yeah, machine learning models. I'm saying that right. Maybe for that push, we can kind of see that in the market. That'd be cool. But what am I trying to say? What I'm really trying to say is this. Maybe when that happens, we'll have a less hot geopolitical situation in the South China Sea, because everyone and their mother knows that. And I really wish I saved or listened to the article when I first read it. Everyone and their mother knows that Taiwan is the new. Oh, dude, I'm in shock. Okay. Everyone and their mother knows that Taiwan is the new Arrakis. If you haven't seen Dune, please go watch it. Please go read it. It's important to the galaxy. You can't run without chips. But if, Baron Harkonnen, that is Jensen Huang, is overpricing the entire galaxy on, what's it called? On how many fucking, on the price of spice, well, no shit, people are going to try to get that guy gone. And by getting him gone, I mean getting him off his throne of power, because that motherfucker's acting way too powerful, costing way too much, charging way too much for fucking chips. Like you can't spin it, bro. Like holy shit. I mean, what's their percent like from raw material, R&D, everything else? What's their fucking, like what is it? You know what I mean? They're probably making like money hand over fist, turning fucking uh, you know, an iota of money in terms of R&D, uh, processing, this and that, and then turning it into like a 3,000, sometimes $200,000 assembly of like pure computing power, pure fucking that good juice, bro. That's fucking nuts. At some point, every single customer that Nvidia has will become a competitor. Every single one of the major ones. Every single. Give me that queen, bitch. Well, you want the fucking rook? Sure. Every single MLM runner. Wow, you didn't take the rook. That's so crazy. Every single MLM runner, every single MLM trainer, every single one of them boys. I mean, Zuck will probably make his own chips. Call him, dude, he's inting. So sorry, bro. Just resign. Zuck's probably gonna make his own chips too. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what the hell he's gonna call them. Ooh, lizard scales, maybe? I don't know. That'd be funny. But the big three are already investing in that shit. You got Microsoft, you got Google, and you got fucking Amazon making their own chips. So where do we go from here? What's Nvidia gonna do? What do you do when your customers become your biggest competitors, become self-reliant? You know, what do you do when? And I'm looking at the chart here too. I mean, dude, 85 billion in assets, 27 billion. Like on paper, these guys are great, but can they stay that way? I mean, surging demand for data center chips, that's gonna change. I hate to side with the bears, but they're right. It's dude, fuck your ad blocker, motherfucker. I hate to side with the bears, but they're kind of right. Someone's got to topple the king. Not everyone's gonna fucking buy these goddamn AI chips every fucking day, all day. And let me zoom in. Every fucking day, all day, all the time. Especially when these motherfuckers are making their own shit. I don't even know what Jensen Swang sounds like. The change to the mask is complete. There were no functional changes necessary. In the fourth quarter, we expect to ship several billions in Blackwell revenue. CFO Colette Kress. When I start production in Q4, I mean shipping out. I don't mean starting to ship. He's gonna ship that brick, bro. He's gonna ship that weight. Gross margin slipped from 75.1 to 78.4. But it's still up 70% from a year ago. See, that's who really needs to stress about this whole AI thing, right? Like, let me get paint. You got two options. It's either a paradigm shift or not as cool. But then later on in the future, there's a use case, of profitability case, and then eventually rises up, right? So you had that in the 99 bubble, 99 to 2002 with the internet. Everyone's investing. Oh, dude, everyone needs a .com. Your kids need, what's under the Christmas tree for 1999? A book on Java or some shit when Sun Microsystems was huge. Well, I'd probably hurt myself if I got that fucking scream. And then, people realize, hey, there's actually not a good way to make money on this motherfucker. And then eventually, social media, let's use yellow for Snapchat. They realize, holy shit, we can advertise to Zoomers and literally everyone else with doom scrolling and make a profit and sell data. And eventually they found a tangible way to make money off of the internet. Like a whole lot of fucking money. Enough money to justify previous valuations. So, which is it with... What's the case with AI and chips? Is this a bunch of hokey and they're just training chips? Or is this actually like, hey, like this is amazing? It's like if a meteor fell out of a sky, right? Well, like if there's a big enough meteor that fell out of a sky, you kind of want to go check out the metal that's in it, right? It's going to be an expensive process. It's going to take a lot of money to analyze all this shit, but you never know if you might find something as amazing as like a new element or a new energy source or some shit, or I don't fucking know, the origins of the universe or something like that. You never know. It's worth the effort for a lot of these companies to see what they can do with their AI and then find a monetization scheme later. It's just the same concept with quantum computing, right? Like quantum computing, when it was first invented, well, not even first invented, more so commercialized, right? It was kind of like, hey, this is really cool, powerful computers, they can break encryption codes, algorithms, factoring problems, and shit like that. That's great and all, but where's the money, right? And I have I personal belief that quantum computing could be the answer to this GPU crisis. Because if you really think about it, all they really need to do is process data and train models. If you have a very efficient, power efficient quantum computer, it's better than having a whole fuckload of data centers to do the exact same shit. And you can charge a similar rate and save more on power, save more on initial costs. You're gonna have to spend more on initial infrastructure, sure, but I mean, you're gonna do that anyway when you're doing your own R&D for chips. So, but at the same time, the grand question is not whether or not you should do a traditional computing or quantum computing to train your AIs. The question is this: is there a point? Is there a point when it comes to dollars and cents? Is there a point when it comes to AI? How's it making money? Can it make enough money to justify the valuations that we're seeing right now? I think everyone and their mother kind of knows that the answer is no, but everyone's kind of hesitant on entering a short position because they don't know how long it'll take for everyone else to realize how stupid it is. I mean, think about it this way: that the dot-com bubble lasted about 3 years, and by lasted, I mean looking at Tesla here, lasted about 3 years, right? And by lasted, I mean like it was on the run up for a good bit of time, and then eventually, you had Intel report some pretty bad earnings, and everything kind of went to shit from there, and then was in decline until the Iraq War. But when it comes to like somebody making a position, let me put it this way: people in their, I remember back in 2020, and this was like, okay, so you had COVID. This was Tesla's COVID. That's crazy. Where was Tesla during COVID? Right here. No, like right here during the initial dip. You can compare that to any other chart, especially the S&P, and this doesn't look like fucking anything. But people, even right here and even right here, were saying, hey, this whole EV thing is like not a paradigm shift. It's really stupid and doesn't really make sense. And I'm inclined to agree with them, right? Because they can make that argument and be wrong, but the argument that a lot of Tesla bulls were making during this time period especially was that, and I remember saying this and agreeing with them, that nobody wants an EV. They kind of want a Tesla for the sexiness, sleep factor. Nowadays, in my opinion, I think everyone just kind of wants a little bit more money in their pocket. Inflation's getting everyone a little bit more serious. The delusion is a bit gone, not when it comes to car payments, but when it comes to idealistic EVs. And honestly, you have an amazing EV market now. You have a lot of fucking choices. like an insane level of choices, especially compared to um, like the hybrid market in like 2015 or 2016. I mean, you had a Prius, you had the Nissan Leaf, you had, I don't know, like hybrid Camrys and shit. I mean, there really wasn't much compared to the EV market now. I mean, there's a fuck ton of shit if you have the money for it. So Tesla is losing its competitiveness. It led a bubble, sure, but then all of a sudden you had the balkanization of the EV market. All of a God, it's like 1 a.m. All of a sudden, you have competition. You have just a whole lot of things that is not helpful for a monopoly. And we might see the same thing happen to Nvidia if enough of these bigwig companies, the fangs, start making their own shit and saying, "Hey, fuck Nvidia, we're tired of paying an arm and a leg for your dog shit, horse shit, um, you know, unfriendly firmware," and then they're just gonna move on with their lives. But like I said earlier, the reason why I want to highlight this point in time in Tesla is, like, everyone knows what the answer is. Everyone at this point, not everyone, but a lot of people, a lot of the bears especially, and I was one of them, had the mindset that, hey, this whole EV market, it kind of doesn't make sense. You know, on a macroeconomic level, it does make a lot of sense to be a bear. Everyone's kind of overvaluing this company, Tesla. I mean, I remember when it was like $1 trillion and shit like that in market cap. Nowadays, it's like half of that. Didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. And then people would kind of cope and say that Tesla's not an automotive company. It's actually a energy company. You know, they're gonna make a fuck ton of money on this and that, and then they'll cite companies that are like completely unrelated to Tesla, such as Starlink and Starlink, yeah, and then other shit too. And it's like, dude, that has like absolutely nothing to do with the revenue of Tesla, considering they're different entities. But whatever. I think people conflate Elon and everything he does with the revenue of Tesla. Like, I think people back then were investing more in Elon than they are in Tesla. And the problem with, you know, cults of personality, especially when it comes to stocks, is that the second they take a turn, like buying Twitter for no reason and going a full, you know, becoming a full like fringe internet whack job shit poster, is, you know, the market's like, hey, you're kind of a fucking dickhead, and I don't want to entrust my pension fund money with you, so goodbye. But again, in this period of time, a lot of people understood that EVs were overpriced, much in the same way that people understand that right now that AI, it's kind of overpriced. But the problem is they don't know when the rug's being pulled. They don't know when the music's going to stop. So having a short position, even though you're right, can be extremely, extremely taxing, and one of the best ways to get your money taken away from you by the market. It's difficult. It's like you can sit there and like look around and like, wow, everyone's kind of acting really stupid right now. But I can't make any money because I don't want to short, and I don't want to fall into the crowd and invest, because that's exactly what they're doing, and getting caught underneath the fucking, you know, it's like getting caught without a chair when the music ends is gonna suck a lot of shit. Man, I need to make a whole video about like the 2020 to 2022. That's when I really stopped following and stopped caring. That market was so crazy, because you had, whenever you have if there's any takeaway from this video, whenever you have a bull market, you have every motherfucker under the sun crawling out of the woodwork to give you like, hey, go buy this, hey, go buy that. I remember when I was talking to a coworker about that time period, everyone talking about, dude, Neo stock, bro, Chinese EV, dude, it's gonna be the best, bro, buy it. I remember joining a random investment Discord back in like back when Neo was like around, 40s to 30s or some shit. It wasn't like showing signs of slowing growth or whatever. And there was this one person there that was like there was this person there that was like dude, I just put all my student loans into Neo. I really hope this works out. Holy shit. I mean, sometimes I'm like, where are they now? You know what I mean? I hope they're doing okay. It's fucking crazy. I mean, like, really? Jeez, dude. Fuck. How does your revenue grow but your net income? Cash flow. What's total liabilities look like? Total assets 11 billion, and then liabilities 87. Increased by 27. They're just stacking debt. Holy moly. Return on assets negative 13. Return on capital less than a quarter. Holy shit. 2 billion shares. They just don't give a fuck, dude. Revenue 55 bill. Probably a big market in China, I guess. Operating expense is growing 25. And the net income's negative. Like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, I know. Neo is a big one that people talk about. They were like, everyone was shilling this fucking dog shit. This one I was really stupid in getting into. Like 3D printed metal and manufacturing. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, to be honest with you. And the goofiest part is that I was like right here in this little bump, right? But I saw this and I was like, oh, that's really weird. And then just ignored it and threw my money on it anyway. I didn't have that much anyway. Don't invest when you're broke. That's also another lesson. Don't get caught up in the hype. What else did people... Oh yeah. This one's my favorite because like I really wanted to short this fucking thing. But I didn't. And I wanted to do it. Is this cost adjusted? What's going on? 3 mil. No, this was not 120. No, dude. Something happened. I remember when this was being measured under tens. Truck delivery. Are they actually delivering trucks this time instead of rolling them down hills? I don't think so. Holy shit, dude. This chart is crazy, dude. How does that even happen? It's like they deliver shit when they want to. Total assets. Liability. Fuck. A lot of negative. A lot of negative. My god. Yeah, I remember people were talking about this is gonna be the Tesla killer. I mean, think about it. It's writing off of the name of Tesla. Nikola Tesla, like, dude, the writing was on the wall. It's just insane. All right, I'm gonna end it here. Y'all have a good one.